Elite Fives is a 50 grand five-a-side amateur football tournament which takes place this June in the AUL complex. It's set to be Ireland's biggest five-a-side tournament ever. It's 160 teams. It's over 2 days, and there's 50 grand to the winner. Amazing stuff. Roddy Collins is involved in the launch today. Roddy, good morning to you.
Morning, lads. You've just killed me. I mean, you've talked about millions. We thought we'd come in with a big, prize money, 65 grand all in. Yeah, that's it. 50 grand for the winners, 10 grand for second, 5 grand for third place.
So we had David Myler on the show last week, and he was saying that he was home one summer and one of his mates was like, here, could you come down and play a bit of five-a-side? And it turned out it was a league final. And Myler played and they won something like 12-2, and he scored a couple from centre back. What's the story on ringers in this? Are you playing yourself?
No
ringers.
It's for junior players, corporates. It's for your lads in the pub. So it's elite fives, it's called, but it's no elite players.
Right. So
it's just, it gives everyone a chance. It's a 2-day festival. Sorry?
I had Jack Burnham Ways ready to go on my team.
No, sorry, Jack's an ambassador actually, so Jack won't be involved. I don't know if there's an exemption for maybe Kenny Cunningham or overage players, but from all the details are there anyway to be checked out. But no, I think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, when I played back in the day, when I played back in the day, in my time, I won a television once. That was it, in a five-side tournament, the Ballyfermot. But it was the done team back then, 5-a-side, 7-a-side, you go around in a van. But this is unbelievable. I mean, 50 grand for the winners, 2-day festival in the AUL. I mean, that could be life-changing for a football club,
Oh, totally. Club. Absolutely, yeah. And is there a Masters tournament? Are you still sticking on boots yourself?
No, not yet. They're looking into that one, But get this one out of the way first. Then there could be a Masters. Then there could be a corporate. Then there could be an All-Ireland league with a final. So I think it's just a brilliant idea. That's why I got involved, So, no, this is the one. June 2 days out in the AUL. And, great concept.
It is a great concept, and we wish them all the very best with the launch today. We'll tweet out details of where you can get...
all the information is on Elite Fives on Instagram, or it's on eventbrite.ie on Friday. You can book your team in then, so they're the details. But as I say, it's unbelievable. 50 grand for the winners. I know I'd be down if I got to the final. I'd be splitting it 30 grand each. I've done me figures, lads. A few
one all draw.
Sorry?
It'd be like watching Ireland, Holland at the World Cup.
Yeah, Ireland and Holland. I was at that game, yeah. And the fans were singing England go home. But no, it's great. I mean, I just thought we mocked this yesterday. And they said 50 grand. And what they could do with that to resurface maybe one of the kids' pitches or kit, equipment, dressing room refurbishment. Or then I spoke to a couple of corporates. Yeah, they thought maybe a month away in the Bahamas, So yeah,
I prefer the first one with the kids getting an extra playing surface rather than the corporates getting a month in the Bahamas.
I say Jared rather go on the lash somewhere.
I will take a trip to the Bahamas too. I don't want to get that wrong, Roddy. The League of Ireland at the moment, right? There's the game is sold out in Tallaght. I think 4 or 5 days early. Rovers have had record ticket sales for season tickets. We've seen a surge in season ticket sales for all of the clubs. Are you feeling the same sense of positivity about the league that most people are?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Especially, it enhances every game. I've played in empty grounds, many of them, mostly. But when you have a crowd, it does enhance the appearance. It makes it a better occasion for everybody, for the supporters and for the players. So I mean, they got daily amount sold out before the season starts. Season ticket holders. Now, when we say sold out, they're very small numbers, but it doesn't matter. It would just be more enjoyable if you had bigger stadiums like Tallaght, where you would get, sold out crowds most week, good performances, and build. But and I have to throw it down. But my argument is, I was in Tallaght for the first game with Shells, and I really enjoyed what happened on the pitch. But look, lads, it's a dump, and Daily Mount's a dump, and there's other, Drogheda, Finn Harps, and I've been told to shut up, but we have to keep saying it because we need more grounds to replicate Tallaght and to make it a better day out. That's what we need. And once you get, every year in every club, pardon me, in every league in the world, it starts off with great enthusiasm, you get crowds in. What keeps them there? You know, mostly the result, if it's a home team. But then again, you've got to add to that and say, well, if the weather's inclement, there's other, you know, not activities, but there's other luxuries there that you can enjoy other than the game. And that's where it's always going to fall out, lads. So sorry for being a killjoy, but
no, I think it's important. I think that's exactly right. That like it's the product now outstrips the quality of the environment in which the product is happening. The stuff on the pitch is actually, the quality has vastly improved. The throughput of young Irish players coming through, playing ball and trying to play ball and then stepping from the League of Ireland straight into teams in England or Scotland and then ultimately playing for the national team really quickly. I think that's all.
That's what we want. I mean, that's what we've done for years. I mean, that's how we developed our international players. You know, a lot of players like Ronnie Wheeler went away maybe 16, 17 years of age. But, you know, it's, how can I say, everything's improved. Quality of player, quality of coaching, the whole lot. But unfortunately, the facilities have left all that behind, and it's a pity because when you go to a game, like for argument's sake, and I keep going back about the first game in Tallaght, it was one of the most miserable nights ever. You can't blame either club on that one. But if you didn't enjoy football, for argument's sake, if I brought my wife and one of my kids, I mean, I'm there to watch the football. I wanted to see how Damien set up his team, and I was very impressed with that. But other than that, I mean, people with you who aren't looking at what's on the pitch are thinking, Jesus, this is miserable. You know, what am I coming down here for? And that's the argument they have. But on the pitch, excellent. Coaching, kids developing, yeah, I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, well, hopefully there can be a concerted effort by all of the clubs to lobby the government for proper funding and resources, because we see Tallaght is successful. It worked. It has completely transformed what people think about when they're going to a League of Ireland venue and what the expectations are. All the visiting fans come and see and go, why can't we have this? And that's, maybe you hope that's some kind of tipping point.
Well, I mean, last week there was an argument over the surface in Sligo. Stephen O'Donnell was ranting on about that, and rightly so. And I'm ranting on about the stadiums. You know, when are we going to start? Like, you know, I hate saying it, lads, but I've got to say it. I mean, I made my debut in Finn Harps 1978. And honestly, I've been up there in recent years and nothing has changed. You know, just the point I'm trying to make. And you're saying we get a concerted effort and we lobby everyone and we get government grants and the whole lot. But you will find most clubs, and there's been a few grants thrown around, it goes into their budget. Because I asked a question one day, many days, when I was up at one of the hearings up in the FAI, there was a figure out in the open arena about ground improvements, and clubs got a combined figure of so many million. And I asked the question, I said, can you just tell me one ground that's benefited from that? Or have you seen it? Because I know for a fact it was going into players' budgets. And that's the problem. But if we can get the grounds and the arenas properly facilitated, you will get people in, and then you will not have to dip into the refurbishment money, because you'll have it come through the turnstiles. And then when people come in, advertisement comes, you get sponsorship because of the exposure. And we need to get the grounds right. I'll just finish up. I went to a game in the 7th tier of English football a month ago. Wimborne was the club. I had a meal before the game with about 200 people. I went out and sat in a real comfortable stand, not a big one, but nice and comfortable. Pitch was like a billiard table. Half time, I had coffee and a sandwich. And after the game, the away team had a full meal. You know, that was the 7th tier, lads. Now, on the pitch wasn't great, but you will go away remembering all the other luxuries that you had and the enjoyment you had in the day. So that's what we need to do, lads.
Yeah, no, that's all fair. You're writing a book, Roddy?
Yeah. Jesus, lads. You know, this is unbelievable. I've been asked to do it a lot of times by a few people, but when Paul Howard came along, I couldn't refuse. But it's very intense. I didn't realise how hard it was, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, there's a lot to pick over. All the good stuff is great, but all the stuff that you kind of, that, you know, we're Irish males.
You nearly let that word out, the bad stuff. What bad stuff? Bad stuff?
We all have bad stuff.
I've actually had a brilliant life it's been tough. Honestly, when you read back in it and you think of all the years you've missed out of the dugout, you think, Jesus. But then you think, why? And like I'm saying to you now, I've stood up for the cause, suffered for it. But I enjoyed the bits that were successful. But no, we just, look, it's down on paper now. I probably need to book a flight to Australia, get a team of solicitors to back me up to the hill. And there'll be a few people hiding under the bed, I think.
When's it out?
It's what?
When is the book out?
It's out September 2022. We're just going through it now. I finished chapter 5 reading it myself. The whole thing is done. I just had to go through the transcript and, just verify and check dates and names and the whole lot. But yeah, it's out then. So that's surreal, but we'll see what people think. At the end of the day, it's my truth anyway.
Yeah, well, look, we're looking forward to it. Roddy, thanks a million for joining us this morning. Cheers.
Great stuff. Don't forget now, Elite Fives. Who's man enough to come up? Oh, by the way, I hope News Talk are putting a team in.
Team off the ball, man.
There's enough experts in there. Come on, lads.
You can be in the dugout for us.
Kenny Cunningham, centre back.
Yeah. Snow will never get a game if I'm in the dugout.
Who?
Oh, Malloy. It's a 7-a-side. He'll be the 8th man. Oh, there you go.
Thanks.
All right, lads.
Thanks a million, Roddy.
Thanks. See you, lads. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Elite Fives launching today at lunchtime. Keep an eye out for it and get entering your team. 65 grand in prize money up for grabs over a weekend in June. 50 grand to the winners.
That is a lot of pressure in the teams in that final. For amateur players who, that's...
Are we going to put the worst team in? Are we?
Definitely. Like it is pressure just... As you're playing there, the kids line up to watch the game knowing that they won't have new dugouts if you end up losing that final.